Oh, wow. How did she get that? She enjoyed it. The crowd love it.
Listen to this. Eala has gone and done it again, and this time she put real flair on it. After grinding through a long, brutal, mentally taxing clash with Laura Siegemund, a match that stretched every layer of her game, she stepped right back into the Miami Open and delivered one of the cleanest, most commanding performances we've seen from her in this run. She walked onto the court to face Magda Linette, who was riding high after a statement win earlier in the tournament. And hold up, instead of looking drained, instead of showing emotional fatigue, Eala looked sharper, stronger, and completely dialed in. That right there is what makes this win hit different. It wasn't just about Eala getting the victory, it was about how she took it. It was the composure, the decision-making, the shot selection, the courage, and that unshakable belief from the first ball to the last. This wasn't some lucky break. This wasn't one of those matches where she just stayed alive and stole it late. No, this was Eala stepping out with purpose, owning the moment, and reminding everyone that her rise is not hype, it's real. Now let's really put this into context. Linette came into this match with serious momentum behind her. She had already proven she could challenge top players and carried herself like someone ready to make a deep run. That kind of win can elevate any player. It can make them dangerous. It can make them fearless. But Eala? She wasn't fazed by any of that. She didn't play the name. She didn't buy into the storyline. And she definitely didn't get caught up in the moment. She just played her game, plain and simple. And when Eala operates with that kind of clarity and confidence, she becomes a serious problem. From the very first exchanges, you could already feel where this match was going. Eala came out and set the tone immediately. She was reading everything beautifully, stepping into rallies early and taking control instead of letting Linette dictate. The energy gap was obvious. Linette had her flashes, no question about that. She produced some solid shots and tried to stay competitive, but for most of that opening set, Eala was in charge.
She looked more decisive in key moments, more comfortable under pressure, and more willing to step up and take control of points. That first set told you everything about a player who had evolved from the Siegemund battle. Because against Siegemund, Eala had to go deep mentally. She had to stay composed through marathon games, endless duels, shifting momentum, and constant distractions. She had to push through a match that demanded just as much patience and discipline as skill. Moments like that either break you or build you, and in Eala's case, it built her up. You could see it in how she handled Linette. There was a new level of maturity in her play. There was an intention behind every movement. There was no panic, no rushing, no wasted energy. She looked like someone who had already weathered the storm and came out tougher on the other side. So when she locked in that opening set 6-3, listen to this, it felt earned. It felt like the scoreboard was telling the exact story we were watching unfold. Eala was clearly in control out there. She owned the bigger moments. She stayed cool even when Linette tried to open the court up. And most importantly, she sent a message early. She wasn't just showing up, she came to take it. Then the second set hit and held up. This is where things got even more impressive from Eala's side. She came out sharp again. She kept the pressure heavy and never let Linette breathe. For a stretch, it honestly looked like Eala might just run away with the whole thing. She built that edge by staying aggressive but disciplined, and when the rallies got tighter, she kept solving the puzzle. Her serve had confidence written all over it, her shots were clean, and you could see real intention in how she pieced points together. Linette, to her credit, didn't fold. She kept battling, kept applying pressure, and slowly worked her way back into it. And girl, that right there is where a lot of young players lose the plot. You grind so hard for that lead, you can almost taste the finish, and then suddenly your opponent levels up and flips the script. That's when doubt sneaks in. That's when frustration starts whispering. That's when momentum can turn on you fast. But once again, Eala showed growth. Instead of letting Linette's push rattle her, she stayed locked in. She didn't mentally check out. She didn't start rushing low-percentage shots out of panic. She trusted her game. She kept competing. And when the set hit a tiebreak, you won't believe this, that was the ultimate mental test for both players. Eala passed it with authority. In that tiebreak, she looked steadier in mind. She played with intention. She handled the pressure cleaner. She made the bigger calls when it counted. And when the moment demanded more, she rose. Taking that tiebreak 7-3 wasn't just about closing the set. It was about showing nerves. It was about showing growth. It was about proving that even after letting Linette back in, she still had the composure to shut it down strongly. And that's a major signal for any rising player, because talent might win you points, but mentality wins matches like this. And if there's one thing this Miami Open run is making clear, it's that Eala is leveling up mentally every single round. The Sijamund match was a grind, the kind of battle that forces you to face discomfort, frustration, and cure fatigue all at once. Eala pushed through that moment, then she flipped it and used that experience to take out Linette in straight sets. That right there is the sign of someone leveling up quickly. That's the sign of a player whose confidence isn't shaky anymore. That's the sign of someone starting to truly understand how to win consistently at this level. Another thing that really popped in this performance was her serve. For the longest time, when people broke down Eala's game, the talk was always about her potential, her movement, her baseline strength, and the variety in her shot selection. But in this match, her serve looked like a legit weapon. And trust me, that changes everything. When your serve is handing you free points, when it lets you control rallies from the jump, when it saves you in tight spots, your entire game becomes more dangerous. And for Eala, that confidence on serve didn't look accidental, it looked built, it looked drilled, it looked upgraded. It looked like a part of her game that's no longer holding her back the way it used to. That's why this performance feels bigger than just a single win. This wasn't just someone catching fire for a day. This looked like a player connecting all the dots. The physical tools are there, the shot making is there, the toughness is rising, the belief is growing, and now even the areas that once looked shaky are starting to look solid. That's how real breakthroughs happen, not overnight, not in one flashy moment, but step by step, match by match, test by test, until suddenly everybody realizes, yeah, she's here. And now, heading into what's next, the buzz around Eala is only getting louder, because once you grind through a 3-hour mental war against an experienced opponent, and then come back and handle another dangerous player in straight sets, people start paying close attention.
They stop seeing just potential. They start seeing proof. They start seeing a competitor who isn't just happy to show up, but is ready to climb higher. What makes Eala so exciting to watch right now is that she's not winning the same way every time. Against Sijamund, she had to endure a battle of patience, disruption, and stamina. Against Linette, she showed a more complete, commanding version of her game. That kind of versatility matters. It shows she's adjusting. It shows she's learning how to deal with different styles, different tempos, and different types of pressure. And at this level, that adaptability can carry you far. But hold up, there's something else you've got to appreciate about this run: the belief. Eala looks like she truly believes now, really believes, not just in quick flashes, not just after a highlight shot, but across entire matches. You can see it in her body language, you can see it in how she handles adversity, you can see it in how she closes. That kind of belief changes everything for a young player. Once the mindset catches up to the talent, the ceiling gets a whole lot higher. And that's exactly why this Miami Open run feels different. So yeah, Eala has done it again. After that brutal fight with Sijamund, she came back and took down Linette with a performance full of confidence, control, and grit. She owned the first set, handled the chaos in the second, dominated the tiebreak, and reminded everyone that her rise isn't slowing down. If anything, she's just getting started. And if this is the version of Eala we're seeing now, calm and pressure, sharper on serve, mentally tougher and more confident in the biggest moments, then the rest of the field better take notice, because Eala isn't just having a good run anymore. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.